What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. This video, I just want to do a quick review of the Mossberg 590 Shockwave. So I'm out here at the range and I'm going to demonstrate for you the recoil of the Mossberg Shockwave with some 12 gauge birdshot and 12 gauge slugs. But I think this is a really cool shotgun. Great for personal defense up close. This is a great shotgun for backpacking, camping, great for your truck, for your ATV. If you're in bear country and you're horseback riding, you can keep one of these in a scabbard. Just really handy, very short and lightweight. So let me just give you guys a close-up look here. So it comes with a brass bead, and it does have a heavy barrel, so the barrel is actually quite thick. It's a little bit hard to see because the sun is quite strong, but you can see the barrel is actually quite thick. Now I am going to change out the brass bead for a meprolite tritium sight, and I'm also going to put a heat shield on here, but I wanted to just review this without the add-ons. And I love this classic pump. It's got this strap which actually helps with controlling the recoil. It has this nice finish. I'm not sure if that's parkerizing or what that is, but super high quality. Has the Mossberg aluminum receiver, which I have no problems with. My first shotgun was actually a Mossberg 500, so I've cut my teeth with the Mossberg 500 when it comes to shotguns, and this grip is actually pretty good. And I did add a side saddle here, but I think this is just a really cool shotgun. Now this is for up close and personal defense, okay? This is not for long shots. I would say 10 to 20 yards is going to be the maximum range you want to use this thing, simply because you don't have a buttstock, so it's a little bit hard to point this thing or aim it if you're using slugs. Now you can aim it, it's just going to be a lot less stable, but with buckshot or birdshot up to 25 yards, you should have no problem hitting a large target. You could even hunt small game up close with this thing. Wouldn't recommend it, but I think for a backpacking shotgun or wilderness survival shotgun or camping shotgun, truck gun, bar gun, home defense gun, it's really not a bad option. I do sell a Picatinny mount made by GG&G, and the way that that thing attaches is that it's just like a ring that goes between this here and this ring for the barrel that helps the barrel attach to the mag tube, and the ring just goes like right there, and it just has a Picatinny rail off the side, and you can attach a flashlight or laser or both. And I think that's a must with this shotgun, simply because you don't have a buttstock. So the flashlight and the laser will help you see what you're pointing at. But I think it's a really cool shotgun. So we're going to start with some low brass number 8 small game loads. Some basic Winchester 8-shot 1 ounce. And then we're going to go over to some slugs, and I'll show you guys the recoil. It's really not that bad. It's very controllable. You can even shoot it one-handed with the low brass game loads, but with slugs, probably not a good idea, especially with this corncob grip. It could slip out of your hand. Now, you know what would be really cool is if maybe Hogue made some molding, like a rubber sleeve that slid over this. That would be awesome. But I know Hogue sells the adhesive grips. I'm probably going to attach that to this thing because it's kind of slippery. You know, if you have wet hands or something, it could slip out of your hand. So I would recommend getting some of the Hogue adhesive grips. You just cut them to whatever size you want, and you heat them up, and then you just attach them, and they stick, and they have different types of grips. I would get the heavy grit one, and that's what I'm going to do. Let's hit some targets and have some fun. This thing is really cool. So I think it's a great shotgun. Highly recommend it. Mossberg, very reliable. Now, a lot of people don't realize that the Mossberg 500 actually passed U.S. Army testing for an official shotgun for the U.S. Army. They were going to make this standard issue, and so they put these 500s and 590s through the ringers, and they held up and they passed all the rigorous U.S. Army testing. So very reliable shotgun. It does have dual extractors, which is what sets it apart from the competition. It has 2 extractors, which is really good for a shotgun. So less chance of breaking one extractor and then being screwed. So let's hit some targets and have some fun, and I'll give you guys my final thoughts after I hit the targets. All right, guys, Mossberg Shockwave. Just want to show you guys the devastation. Some bird shot, the Shockwave. Check it out. Wow, look at that. Just tons and tons of little holes in there. Definitely wouldn't want to get hit by that. That would make for a bad day. Check that out. Absolutely insane. Look at that. There's some pellets in there. Just total annihilation. So let's hit it one-handed now. Show you guys how it works one-handed. Definitely don't try this with slugs or high brass or buckshot unless you're extremely confident, because it could slip out of your hand. That grip is very slick, so it's definitely doable. Obviously, longer distances, it's going to be tough, but it's definitely doable. Check out the annihilation. Wow, look at this. That's insane. Wow, definitely wouldn't want to get hit by that. So let's hit them with the slugs now. All right, guys, so now we're going to use some slugs. These are just some 2 3/4 inch, 1 ounce slugs. So, see what happens here. Wow. Wow. Wow, guys, so the slugs really annihilated these water bottles. Check it out. Impressive results on target. Devastating. Absolutely devastating. Look at this, guys. This whole bottle is just blown apart. Absolutely insane. And we also got some buckshot here. We're going to be testing out 2 3/4 inch double-aught buck. All right, guys, let's have some more fun with the buckshot. All right, guys, let's have some more fun with the buckshot. so we got one bottle that survived. We got to terminate it, so let's do that now. All right, guys, so final summary. I think it's a great shotgun, very fun, very practical for close range self-defense, especially if you're in a vehicle, if you're camping, backpacking, horseback riding. This thing is really compact and packs a lot of punch. You can even sleep with it next to you in your tent. But I think it's a great shotgun, and if you're debating on getting it or not, just go ahead and get it. You won't be disappointed. Definitely add a side saddle to it and just practice with it first before you plan to use it for self-defense. I think it's just absolutely beautiful, and these shotguns were tested by the U.S. Army, so they are reliable. I've had a Mossberg 500 for over 20 years and hunted with it for about that time every single year, multiple hunting seasons every year, and never had any issues with the 500s or the 590s. They're basically the same. So as far as the recoil goes with the slugs, you definitely feel the recoil more, but it's not like it's super painful or anything like that. You will feel a very light sting in your hand simply because this is like a hard plastic, so you will feel a little bit of recoil transmitted into your hand with the slugs. You could easily manage 3-inch slugs. These were just some 2 3/4-inch slugs, but you could easily step up to 3-inch slugs, and I don't think you would have an issue. I think one thing that would really make this shotgun a lot better is if Mossberg teamed up with Hogue and they made an overmolded grip. This is kind of slippery, so if they added some overmolding to it, that would be amazing. But other than that, it's very reliable, very fun. I mean, you could get some cheap birdshot and just spend an entire afternoon blasting fruit and water jugs. Never gets boring, always fun, brings a smile to the face. But that's pretty much it, guys. Stay tuned to my channel for more Shockwave content. When I add all the different accessories, I'll show you guys what it looks like. I'll do an update. I wanted to just shoot this one stock and show you guys how it performs stock right from the box. But I'm going to add a heat shield. I'm going to add some tritium sights here, and I'm going to also add that rail, and also I'm going to add a flashlight and laser. And I wanted to just mention that you should definitely get yourself a heat shield for this shotgun. Now, with the thicker barrel, I didn't actually notice that it was getting like super hot to the point where I would like burn my hand. After like 5 or 6 rounds, it would get pretty warm, but it wasn't like to the point where, you know, I couldn't hold it. It was a little bit uncomfortable, but it wasn't burning me or anything. So that thick barrel definitely helps with mitigating the heat transfer to the hands, but you definitely need a heat shield for this because it's so compact and it just lends itself to being grabbed like over here. And if you dump 5 or 10 shells and then you grab this, you may have an unpleasant surprise. So That's pretty much it, guys. I'll leave a link to my shotguns playlist in the top right corner for all of my shotgun content. And until next time, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps. Prepare, practice, and persevere.